This is a comparison between the Superveloce 1000 Oro and the Superveloce 800. Let's do the cold start. Superveloce 1000 Oro. Man, I'm wearing my leather jacket. I'm so limited with my movement. She loud. You guys might notice she looks a little different. Thanks to these guys. My favorite lever guards. Shout out to Daisuke Racing. They're going to be linked in the description down below. You guys know I absolutely love these lever guards, and I went a little bold, went with the red because on the Superveloce we have some red accents and we're going to add some more, so I think it'll go nicely with it. I also have them on my HP4 race and on my Ninja H2 back there. I think she looks very aggressive with those. I love these lever guards because they're literally the highest quality you can get, I feel like, when it comes to lever guards. Even like the internal, like the bolt that holds it, comes titanium. That's how crazy high-end these are. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Back again on the Superveloce. We're currently going to Agusta, Newport Beach, right here. We're taking to the Superveloce there. I've never taken the Superveloce here because I got this from Agusta, Los Angeles, the flagship store. Since this was the first in the US, I absolutely love these lever guards. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about them. Like I said, I usually don't do colors and all like this, but I decided to go a little bold and went with the red Moro Corsa kind of to match all the red accents. Mr. MV!
I couldn't hear you pulling up.
No? Dang it, I gotta make it louder. I'll head up SC, I'll tell him to make a custom quad exhaust. What do you think?
Dude, the red anodized. Oh,
He knows what's up right away.
I need to make my F4 more expensive for sure. It's not expensive enough to ride around K.
This guy. Nah, as long as they're sick looter bikes, we're good. Oh,
F4
yeah.
Corsa.
Yeah, I did something like that on my Ducati, but instead of a full-on key, it's like an aluminum casing that goes on it.
It looks badass.
I think next time I go, I'll have Mikey raise it up a little bit again.
Yeah.
I was looking at it in pictures. The problem is that I like it squatted, but even though I lowered it even more in the front, the rear still looks a little too low. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't like that.
To regular in the back or the high in the back?
No, but probably back to regular. I don't want to go high.
The Evolution bike to me, like
Yeah.
entire.
The full headers. It's not bad. I ordered the titanium ones, but they sent me stainless. But finally we got rid of those like little bar ends, because you know how they're extra long because of the mirrors.
Yeah.
Now with these lever guards, way better.
How come this is unplugged?
I'm doing this thing now, so I unplug it when I like so the audio is a little bit better.
Easier. Yeah, that makes sense.
Easier for editing. Even though my audio is muffled now. The only thing is that I never did this before because I always feared, I don't think I'll do it at meets and all, because I'm worried that like I'll go riding and I forget to plug it back in and then video's done.
Yeah.
But right now we're not doing really like much riding. It's mainly like a video comparing the Superveloce 1000 and the 800, the original one. Yeah, what do you guys, also let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about me raising it? I think the front is just a little, it looks like a missile right now, but the front is too like big, and when I put it next to Ducati or something, it just looks like it's doing this, which I'd rather do the other way around, but I don't want to raise it, so I think we're just gonna go kind of like straight and keep the front a little lowered to give it more of that like tucked look. What? There's a Rush? Like mine?
Like yours, yeah.
Oh, there it is. It's the black one.
The black one,
I was like, where is it?
I wanted the Ago, but he sold it.
Dude, this is sick.
Yeah, like 69 or 70.
This is so sick. And the McLaren too. But look at these two. They have the Ascent and the Rush next to each other. Crazy, because the other day I was like, I've almost never seen the 2022 Rushes, which is just like mine. So yeah, that's supposed to be the Ascent. Still a beautiful bike. It's just, if I love nakeds, this duo would be the ultimate duo. Kind of cool to see them next to each other, because this could have been almost within my garage. This was the original plan. The SV is just different. What just happened? That big truck just wrecked something.
Are you sure?
I just see, well, I saw, look at the road.
Oh yeah. Something. Maybe he's really tired.
Here you guys have it. We are at MV Newport Beach, aka Rosso Corsa as well. And we brought him inside just because it was a little too loud out there, and you know, the little accident that happened, we're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's maybe if that happens during this, so we'll just put it inside here. They have good lighting and a nice little spot in the showroom. We have a beautiful SB over here, this sick car, and the Aston, which was supposed to be the bike that I'm getting before this got released. And then I told this dude right here, I was like, bro, we need to make this happen. I need this instead. And thanks to him and MVLA, I got the first one. Literally the first one. You know, as soon as this got revealed, like, because I literally did the pretty much reveal, like I was there and you guys gave me the key somehow, and it was literally this bike. And then I started it, and I literally, no joke, like in that video, I had no plans. And I was like, no plans of getting this. I was like, I'm getting the Aston. And then I was like, this is a new dream bike. And they were like, you know what, let's try to do it instead of the Aston, and made it happen thanks to this guy.
Energy and fate though, dude. I think the moment you keyed it on and revved it was yours.
Yeah, yeah, that reaction was completely like honest. I mean, you know what, I'll throw these Instagram videos right here. Kind of cool that like I did that, you know, like the first start on this specific one, because this was the first one, and yeah, it ended up being mine somehow. So that was really cool. Definitely nothing planned. It's just fate, man. But yeah, look at these two. I've already done a first ride on the Superveloce a couple years ago, the 800. So this is the original model, and I'm not gonna lie, now that like I have this, I have more of an appreciation to this. I always thought this was cool because it's different, you know what I mean? Like that retro look. And I, you know, when I rode this, if you guys want, just search up my channel name and Superveloce 800 first ride, you guys will see. And I enjoyed riding this thing because it's a triple cylinder, so it does sound unique. So I feel like that's the main difference, is that this is an 800cc triple cylinder. This is a 1000cc four cylinder. So I feel like, and how much does the 800 make power-wise?
148.
148. So that's the big jump. We went from 148 to 208, technically stock. With this exhaust, since it has a full system, it should be at like 212, 215-ish. But let's just say 208. Just the base kind of Bertale number, just for the sake of 148, 208. So that's what, a 60 horsepower difference? If I'm doing my math right,
yeah.
we'll just call it 60. Yeah, that is 60. So yeah, 60 extra horsepowers and an extra cylinder, and the lighting here is doing this.
And just like the 208
Beautiful.
inline fours, the triples with an exhaust and a tune, you know, like they'll bump up to 155 is about like the horsepower numbers that you'll get like from a bike like this with the RC with the exhaust and actually we can take a look at this. So yeah, if you have an exhaust like this and the ECU that this bike has, this bike claims if it's an 800, it is. This is a 155 horsepower bike.
155 horsepower. So this has the same engine as the Superveloce, is pretty much what you're saying.
And actually, I'm glad this is here because a lot of people think,
the F3 RC.
Yeah, I think a lot of people assume because of the round headlight and the more like
retro look
that it's like this like retro-ish bike. But underneath the skin, which is just the plastics, it is 90%, even more, 95%.
An F3.
An F3, yeah.
Which makes sense, because when I rode these, I did say this is one of my favorite middleweight bikes to ride. It was really fun, it was really well balanced, and I like the F3s, man. The only thing for me is that like I like the max horsepower vehicles, you know what I mean? I want the most powerful, the most craziest everything, and therefore this monster was created. And I like, when I saw this, I was completely obsessed. I mean, look at this thing. And I was looking at it a little bit more and more, and was like, I wonder why I fell in love so much more with this, even though it's technically, you know, a little bit of the same base as this. But they really did a lot. Like, starting from the headlight design alone is different. Like, going from the silver and like the way it's like machined to like this black, like it's the same but not really. Like even if you notice, like 4 bolts here, 3 bolts here, these like the little arrow right here with the vents and everything. I mean, the wings are obviously the big elephant in the room. Like this completely transformed the look of this thing, having these aggressive wings, and I really like this design on these wings.
What's cool about these wings too is, yeah, everybody has winglets now, but one of the first, if not the first, you know, like there's debates in history, motorcycle company to put winglets on a race bike was MV Agusta. And if I'm correct, it was in 1972.
Yeah, so we're gonna need to put like a picture of the first wings ever on a motorcycle.
I have it. It's like I have.
We need those pictures. That'd be sick.
Look like this, and that's why we were just like, oh, we're gonna add winglets to our, you know, to our leader bike because everybody else is doing it. No, this is like a direct pull from our heritage. One of the first to do it, and we put it on this bike like that.
Dude, the thing is, I like believe it because look, I just said in the start of this video, this is obviously one of the most beautiful bikes ever made. I would say everyone can agree that Panigales are beautiful, but look at the wings, for example. It's just an OEM fairing, and the wings are just, you know, on the side of it. You know what I mean? It's not like truly properly integrated. Even the newer models, it's more integrated, but it still feels like it was just thrown on, and they kind of like made it like a smoother mold on the newer ones. Look at this thing though. This is not just an attachment.
We will throw the photo on, but this is the 1972
hold on, there you go,
GP 500. Little comparison right here.
That's actually really sick.
Yeah.
And what year was this?
1972.
1972.
So we had it figured out way before Ducati.
little jab for Mr. MT. But yeah, I was saying, look at this. Crazy to see, because this fairing right here is pretty much this. And then you have this kind of like other fairing, which is now a 2-piece or whatever, because that's split unlike that one. And this is where this vent comes in, and it's fully like integrated from here all the way to the bottom. Like, I don't know, I just think it's such a sick design, and like they killed it with these wings. I definitely think I have almost all my bikes have wings on it, besides the H2 and the H2R, which are just max aggressiveness.
I think the mirrors or
you
whatever
what I mean? It's just extreme, like the upper and lower winglets, which is very extreme. As an integrated winglets, I think these are one of the best looking ones.
Oh, for sure.
What I love about this is they added so much like of the body lines, like I showed right here, and then it doesn't stop there. It kind of extend like everything here. Like look at the body lines right here. Just look at that. Like it's not just flat. There's little touches everywhere, little like lines and bends, and I think that everything together makes it look so much just more elegant. Like the body lines, you know what I mean? She's just beautiful. Like you can tell next to each other. And in V, we're like cherry on top, literally cherry on top. Let's make this color absolutely insane so these body lines pop. Yeah. Like they knew what they achieved with these body lines, and they threw on this beautiful red, kind of like deep, I don't even know how to describe it, because it's almost like color shifting. Like it doesn't just look red, like you can see it almost turns like a little orangish and stuff like that. Has a little like deep sparkle in it. I'm not a huge fan of red. You guys know my V4R was like fully red. I almost changed the entire thing. I only left one panel painted red on top of the carbon just to keep that Ducati look. But besides that, I'm not really a huge fan of like red bikes, you know what I mean? Like most of the time I end up changing a lot of the red. The Fireblade I kept because it's called Fireblade. You know what I mean? I feel like it's literally in the name, so I can't change the red. It would be a little weird. But I'm still changing it. It's gonna be, I'm not gonna announce it yet, but videos come in probably within like a week or two, so it's gonna get a full redesign. Anyways, so
what you have here, you can kind of think of it a little bit different because they're not as similar, but it's kind of similar concept as this being a V4, Panigale V4,
and this is the V2. Yeah.
So like, if you can't quite handle the weight of the V4, don't want the power of the V4, and then obviously too, like, you know, the price tag of the V4, of the big one, you do have an option of a very similarly styled bikes that does, you know, it shares some parts. We were just actually joking, you know, the headlight and the taillight are the same. You have, you know, like I said, like a more smaller, it's for whatever reason, again, budget, or if you just want a smaller, more flickable, more rideable, like left and right bike, and that's your style, then this is a pretty serious machine for them. 150 horsepower is enough for anybody.
See, really. He's over here speaking for the general public. I'm over here, and I want the best and the baddest. Yeah. That being said, you know what I mean? Like, I rode this, and it's definitely not a bad bike. This just takes it over the top, which is exactly what I love. But like he was saying, this is what, based on just MSRP, this is like a $71,000 bike?
Yeah.
And what is that?
This one MSRP is 27 and change.
27, so literally less than half the price, pretty much.
27,998.
I'd say what, like 40% of the price.
But also, this is an S. There's a non-S, and that one's like 24.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So in the non-S, you won't get these spoked wheels. If you don't like spoked wheels, the non-S just has like normal mag wheels.
Yeah.
And some circuits of that.
A lot of people might be like, okay, well, why is this so expensive? I mean, obviously, first of all, is that everything on this bike is carbon fiber. So it's a full carbon fiber bike. It's the most amount of carbon fiber I've seen on a stock bike ever, besides my fully track HP4 Race, which, as you guys know, that's an $80,000 bike from BMW that is for the track only. But this thing, as a stock street vehicle, definitely has the most carbon I've ever seen. I wish that MV definitely left a little bit more carbon exposed. They kind of left, you know, little hints here and there, since this is
maybe like the inside of the winglet.
Exactly, like inside of the winglet. This entire panel, which I've talked about, which, you know, some people might not like my decision, but I would like to strip this and make this exposed carbon, because it is carbon on the inside. We checked because you can see the weave actually right here. So literally everything besides the tank is full 100% carbon fiber. So I definitely want to strip the paint on this, make it clear, probably do a satin finish just to match this, or maybe do glossy. I don't know, we'll see. Glossy or satin?
I think glossy.
Glossy? Yeah, we'll pop, definitely will give it some contrast. So, but regardless, either way, like, that's kind of the plan for it. I think that's the only thing that sticks out is the silver. Obviously, we're going to anodize this as well, make it black and stuff like that. But like I was saying, everything is carbon. When I saw also this kind of brake hub cooling duct, I think it's one of the most like clean and integrated hubs I've ever seen. Like, I've seen it on other brands, and it just looks like an afterthought, versus this looks like it was designed to fit perfectly like a glove. Like, look at the fitment here, dude. They didn't just throw it on. Like, everything is so precise and fits so right, like, perfectly integrated. Not only that, but you guys know I'm obsessed with titanium, and yes, this bike comes with all the major hardware is titanium. So all these bolts right here, everything major is titanium on this thing, as you guys can see. And you guys know, some people were mad about it, but mine came with this strap with also a nice machined aluminum piece. It's a little different than this. And I was like, nope, strap is gonna go.
There's even this cool
That's
line.
why there's this little, and then quick release gas cap.
There's even this cool line, like, and that's it. It's just like, it's
Definitely
like
cool. It's just a muted version of this, pretty much.
round and
You know what I
chiseled
mean? I like
at the same time.
aggressiveness. So I think this like exhaust setup is one of the nicest exhaust setups I've ever seen on any bike, especially with that like fighter jet, you know, single tail light, which is actually unique to just this bike. And then they MV realized that this is sick, so they took this and they put it on the Rush. Let's show you guys real quick, which is funny. My two MV Agustas have these unique tail designs, and this is the smoked version, which we actually ordered for the Superveloce 800.
Number
So
73.
I know, this is number 73. Mine is 124. So if you guys notice, the regular Brutales have this tail light, which, you know, is decent, but I don't think is kind of unique enough.
Can't see, what is it? 48?
45. That would have been cool if it's the same number as my
45, dude. Gotta sell it to Trump.
Superveloce. But yeah, as you guys see, like, the Brutale taillight is a little different from the Rush taillight, and I think the Rush is just way more unique, which is technically taken from the Superveloce 800. And now on the Superveloce 1000. Even the details, like here, the vent and the carbon right here, and then the quad exhaust to make it even crazier. That little like spoiler right here, how you see it's like actual spoiler, it's like split. And it's also full carbon piece, so that's another thing. I would like to leave a little bit maybe more exposed carbon here.
What is cool too, one thing is, let's say you get this one, you know, 70,000 is a lot for you. You see how we have the carbon fiber dash area or air runners, whatever you want to call it. You can actually get from MVUs to Course and other, you know, carbon body, whatever, get it wherever you want. You can replace this on this bike with carbon.
That's cool. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, and like you can replace this right here. right? With
Yeah,
carbon fiber.
the
You can
plastic
replace
pieces.
this with carbon fiber, which we make, and then essentially you're kind of getting closer to like the whole ultra premium vibe that this has, without having to go like fully all out.
Yeah.
But you know, the options are there.
It's a similar look, but it's a completely different frame.
Mm-hmm. So both bikes have a steel trellis frame, which is one of our signatures, with the aluminum side plates that complete the frame. Yeah. But yeah, because they're different bikes, the design itself and the structure of it is slightly different.
Like we were saying that like they're the same bike, but not really. And I was like, nah, not really, because this was cool, but like this like is really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, like. And I was kind of right, like almost the only true same part is like the headlight and tail light.
What would have been sick is
so different, like almost every little detail is like tweaked a little bit to make it better.
Yeah, the switch gear is the same, but that's not like a super huge deal.
Oh, like the buttons?
So all the buttons, yeah, and then like the stock mirrors are the same.
What mirrors?
Yeah, but dude, I mean, I'm not just tooting the horn for the 800, but curb appeal, when they're just like next to each other, like the 800 like definitely holds its own. Imagine if you had taken an 800 in the similar colors and then modded it all the ways, like in all the ways that you already modded yours, and like took the care to like make it extra special. I think you would have.
It's definitely close. I think they don't really fully agree with it, because I noticed stuff like the undertail exhaust with that tail design in the wing and the winglets in the front. I think that like the way it makes it like beefy, makes it sit very different than this.
Yeah. It's just like
this is cool. I feel like for the average person, that's why like some people are like, what do you mean? It's not super rare. It's not like that crazy of a bike. Because people think it's just the Superveloce 800, you know? Some people are like, oh, they just threw wings on it. Not really. The entire body like pretty much different. Literally like the body, we just looked at the frame is different. The tail design is different. Sure, the headlight and the tail light are pretty much the same. Of course, we have the electronic suspension here. This one doesn't come with an electronic suspension, even though it's an S model. Let's take a look at that one. So
let's go.
A little modified. It's literally the same one too. How crazy is that?
No, actually, this is a standard. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Can we film your bike? Are you good to be on the channel? Are you good? Can we film your bike a little bit?
Yeah, it's not gonna be mine for much longer.
Oh, sweet.
I'm trading it in.
Oh, sweet. For what? If he says Triumph, we gotta beat him up. That's super cool. We were just doing a review and a comparison on the 800 and the 1000s on these bikes, and I was like, oh, here comes like a real life owner just pulling in.
Yeah, that's rare.
Cool rear sets.
How are you liking it?
The 1000?
Yeah.
I love it. It's a sick
Crazy,
bike.
right?
Yeah, it sounds amazing. It looks amazing.
I'm glad you're riding it.
Yeah, of course, I gotta ride it.
Well, I thought, a lot of guys are just gonna park it. You know what
I know.
So I give you a lot of credit for
That's
that.
boring though.
I know.
The whole fun is like get
Well,
those.
I got it. I ride that shit.
Exactly.
How did you enjoy this while you had it?
I love that thing, and I'm not even I'm actually thinking about maybe not turning it in.
Really?
That's how this bike is so fun.
Yeah.
And I have the Bertelli 1000.
How many miles do you have on?
13,000.
13,000?
Yeah.
Oh, he actually has a 1000 and an 800, so he's a perfect kind of like guy too.
Oh, which 1,000?
It's pretty sick.
Nice.
Cool. Well, I mean, that was like a kind of cool wrap to the video.
Yeah, that was definitely cool. Another Superveloce 800 pulled up. I think we touched on pretty much all the differences. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to see, or like if you have any other questions. Or like we mentioned, mainly the aesthetics. Obviously, the extra cylinder, the extra 60-ish horsepower, different exhaust, different. I don't know. I wonder if the electronics are different. Probably if it's the same year, 24, probably I would assume they're the same.
Yeah, the dash that controls everything is the same.
Yeah.
And the computing systems.
Little stuff like the triple as well. I wish they put kind of like this triple is definitely a lot nicer, but I also wish they did something where it says like Superveloce Oro in like carbon fiber or like a metal plate.
Yeah.
I think would have definitely like been like a cherry on top. I know they have the little sticker over there, but it should have been up here on the triple. I think that would have been a little bit better. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this little stem nut, I'm pretty sure I can find something like this in red.
Oh yeah,
that'd be really
that
cool.
would be the thing, because it would like pop off of this and like.
And I was thinking also of making a custom kind of bracket, like I was saying right now, and I think I'll make it in titanium and I'll like laser engrave like Oro 48 out of 500 or something like that.
K's Oro number 48.
One of one, man. One of one. That's what I like to do with my builds. Get the special models and make them even more special. A one of one build. cherry on top, especially when we get rid of that silver and make it exposed carbon. Hopefully that works out. I think set it really apart. Maybe I'm messing with the idea of, the same thing, like when you mentioned they have similar buttons. I think for such an expensive high-end bike, they should have updated the buttons, made it a little nicer. So might end up doing race buttons.
Yeah.
I think that would kind of like set it apart, at least for one of the sides where I don't have to go too much in the center. Yeah, I got you, Mr. Envy. I'm a little taller.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, guys. Look at that.
I'm just messing with you.
Wait, hold on. Take a real picture of me behind the bike. Real height.
Real high, if you guys ever wondered how tall he is. Alright guys, this is a comparison between the Superveloce 1000 Oro and the Superveloce 800. That is insane. This thing is like burnt down to a crisp. Yeah, I hope everyone's okay.